Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Well, today is finally the day that I can share with you guys what I've been holding off for some time. As many of you know, at the end of 2021, I finally hit that 1,000 subscriber milestone, which we've been working toward here on the channel for quite some time. And to celebrate that achievement, I kind of got a little gift for myself and the channel to celebrate. As most of you may know from the tags down below, it's a new camera. And not just any new camera, but the Canon EOS R5c. This camera is really gonna step things up here on the channel, and I can't wait to unbox it and show you guys some of the things it'll do over the current Canon M50 that we're recording this video with. So when the R5c was released, I was excited and ecstatic, but I had to wait on the pre-orders to start to ship. Well, guess what came in today? We're gonna go ahead and unbox this and show you everything that's in here, but I also got a few attachments to go with the R5c, including the standard 50mm RF mount and a EF to RF converter made by Comlight, which is much cheaper, so I wanted to give that a test. So let's go ahead and start with the main body of the camera and go from there. A bit of literature. Now this is just the body. I didn't get the lens with it. I have a couple of lenses that I want to use. So instead of doing that, I figured it would just be easier to use some of my EF lenses now, as some of the RF lenses are almost as expensive as the camera, and the one I want is on back order. So I'm gonna just wait and use my current lineup of EF lenses with this cost-effective adapter. So there's the charger, the battery, camera strap, the manual, your Type-C cable, and the clamp to hold it to the side of the camera. Now this camera is quite hefty. It's coming in at, I believe, about 1.7 pounds just for the camera itself. But this will be extremely great for the channel. So here's your battery. You get the LPE6HN, which is standard for the R5 as well. You can see the camera kind of bulges out a little bit, but that's so that the fan can breathe. That was one of the major problems with the R5. Not really a problem, but a limitation, I guess, would be a better explanation. You have the same pop-out screen that you have on quite a few of the other Canon cameras. And you have a photo off video dial up here, along with the little bitty screen to kind of give you status of what's going on. You have your RF lens mount on the front. And the rest of this we'll dive into as we go. Just go ahead and get the battery loaded. And we will go from there. All right, everybody, now that we've got the camera unboxed, I want to go ahead and just do a quick unboxing of the standard RF lens. This isn't the more expensive one. This one costs about 200 bucks. And this is the Comlight EF to RF adapter with the function ring. Now, the Canon version of this is about another 200 or so bucks. This guy came in at about 89 bucks from B&H Video. So we'll go ahead and open this guy first. A little bit of literature on how to use it. Silica pack. And here you go. So you have the click ring there that you can use for different functions. And then this guy here, so that's just gonna mate to the camera like so. And now you can use any of your EF lenses on this RF mount. Another cool feature of this is it actually has a micro USB port, so you can actually update the firmware on here if they notice any issues or bugs or anything like that. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and pop this off, and we're gonna go ahead and unbox the R50mm, because that's gonna be the main lens we'll be using for the foreseeable future. Same minimalist packaging. Now, again, this is gonna be the entry-level 50mm lens. I'm really waiting on the 24-70 to come back in stock, because that's what I'm primarily gonna use. It's kind of a Swiss Army knife of lenses, so to speak. But for now, this 50mm will be a great alternative just to get started with. It still has the feature ring right here where you can change aperture, ISO, or whatever else you plan to set it to. And now we are ready to shoot and record. Okay, so I lost some of my video due to some circumstances outside of my control, but I do have the audio. So I'm going to roll some pictures and video I took with the camera. I mostly selected this camera because of its hybrid nature. It does photo and video, but separately, meaning there are separate menus for both, separated by a dial. Photo here, off, and video. I also selected it for its 4K continuous recording and 8K recording options. This is thanks to the benefit of an internal fan to prevent overheating that limits the ability of its little brother, the R5, and its contemporaries. So for all the camera pros watching this video, sorry, but this video isn't geared toward pros, since you will probably know more than me about this camera. But stick around. Hopefully you may pick something up. If you are a novice, this probably isn't for you either. Sorry. This camera for the body only has a hefty price tag of about $4,000 US. So it's definitely for someone serious about recording video and occasionally taking pictures. I did, however, find a loophole for myself if it works out. Let's go over a few details about the camera. Due to the internal fan and no in-body image stabilization, this camera is not really meant for running and gunning. At least that's what most people say. I want to test that out here over the next week just to see how it feels, how it records, and how I can move around with it due to some of the other features, especially the RF lens setup. With the improvement of the Canon RF lens line, I want to test this because a lot of people mentioned that without in-body image stabilization, the RF lens does do its own image stabilization and it's pretty good at it. So we want to see how good compared to just running with the GoPro. Some may say these are drawbacks for someone looking to start taking photography seriously, but let's remember, I'm currently using the Canon M50 for recording. The M50 itself has a major issue with autofocus and sometimes focus breathing, which I am hoping to solve with the R5c. The R5c also has manual focus adjustment assistance, which isn't a thing on the M50. The R5c may not have IBIS, which I discussed was in-body image stabilization, but neither does the M50. Another major win for me over the M50 is having a full frame sensor on the R5c to eliminate the massive 2.56 image crop when recording in 4K. Another knock on the R5c is the limitations of the battery being recycled from the Canon R5, which can limit your ability to record the higher resolutions and frame rates, but this can be solved by using an external power source like wall power or a battery bank. This still isn't a deal breaker for me since I have to do this anyway with my Canon M50 setup. Also, I'll only likely be doing battery intensive recording for the channel. Speaking of intensive recording, being able to record in 4K full frame and 8K full frame at multiple frame rates means we can do many more creative things here on the channel. And not being limited by a 24 to 30 minute record time means that we can do continuous takes without having to worry about if the camera stopped recording. But if you want an extensive breakdown on all the features, there are many pre-release videos. I'd suggest Jarrod Polad over at Fro Knows Photos. Check out his YouTube channel where he did a pretty good pre-release review of all the features and very specific details of the Canon R5c. The link will be down in the description below. Okay everybody, that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you all liked it and learned something. I'm excited about what this means for the future of the channel as we've upgraded the audio as well as the lighting, and this is the third and final piece that we need to take the videos to the next level, the video recording capabilities. I'm excited to see how these videos turn out, and hopefully you all will notice an improvement on the channel as well. Remember, if you like the video, make sure you like it, subscribe, and click the bell so you see more notifications anytime I do content like this. See you all on the next one. Later.